She was slightly surprised when the car stopped in front of a quiet house. This wasn't the office she expected. Confused, she turned to the man beside her. He simply replied that his office wasn't ready yet, and without waiting for another word, he stepped out, walking straight into the house. Hesitant, she followed. Inside, she looked around carefully, taking in the unfamiliar space. The man pointed toward the bathroom, telling her to clean her skirt that had been stained by a spilled drink. A few minutes later, she returned and walked over to where he sat, busy with his computer. She pulled her chair a little closer. He began explaining his project in detail, but her mind wasn't really there. Instead, it drifted, questioning why the man before her felt so different, so distant, so unfamiliar. 10 years ago, he wasn't like this. Her eyes landed on a piece of music. She pointed it out, saying she liked it. Without realizing, the tips of her hair brushed against his fingers. For a moment, he froze, staring at her with an expression she couldn't quite read. Then, he sat down at the white piano in the corner. As the melody filled the air, a memory long buried suddenly resurfaced. 10 years ago, he had played a black piano then, while she lay stretched out on the sofa behind him. So young, so naive. She couldn't help but smile bitterly at the thought. He looked up and said softly, "The concept of this project is eternity and beyond. That melody fits perfectly with the theme." She whispered under her breath, "Eternity." And another memory struck her. His voice, back then, full of certainty. When you're 19 or 20, or even when you're old and gray, I'll stay by your side, forever. She cursed herself for remembering, for being foolish enough to believe it. With a hollow laugh, she muttered, "In the end, eternity is just an illusion, another word for a lie." He only smiled faintly. "You're right." She looked at him, almost trembling, and asked, "And what are you? The illusion or the lie?" He leaned back. "Are we even talking about work anymore?" he asked lightly. Her lips parted, but no answer came. Finally, she stood and said, "You'll finish your part. I'll be leaving now." He rose quickly, reminding her it was already late. He offered to drive her home. She shook her head. "No, I can't. I feel uncomfortable, stifled. Every time I'm with you, it's suffocating." Anger burned in her chest. Why was she the only one trapped in the past when he seemed so calm, so untouched, as if none of it had ever meant anything? At the door, her hand reached for the handle, but suddenly his hand pressed against the door, stopping her. Slowly, she turned to face him. Her eyes searched his, desperate for something, a word, an apology, anything. But he said nothing, and in that silence, she walked away, leaving him behind.